about, well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I made it through the thunderstorm coming out of Austin and everything else. So join me on this if you know it. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are here. I want to share my love with you. I'm glad you are here. I'm glad you are here. I want to share my love with you. Oh, we are one. We are one. Yes, we are one. We are one. We are one, yes, we are one, we are one, we are one, we are one in the company of love. I'm glad you are here, yes, I'm glad you are here. I want to share my love with you. Good morning. It's good to be back.
David, that was awesome. Good morning. I'm Elaine, and I welcome to Unity of the Hill Country, where we offer a positive path for spiritual living. The Daily Word has been giving the worldwide unity movement a daily prayer since July 1924. This week's reader is... Sorry. Thought somebody else was going to do it. I'm jumping in at the last minute this morning, so we'll wait till it comes in here. I guess I could read it this way. Our word for the day is inner peace. And let's say the affirmation together. I call upon the infinite peace of God within. I find peace in the beauty around me, a clear day, flowers swaying in the breeze, a gently flowing stream, all reveal the presence of God and reflect my inner nature. Lasting peace resides within my mind and heart. If that peace is temporarily disturbed, if I am feeling out of sorts about my life or the situation of a dear one, I draw upon my strength and stability by turning away from the outer circumstances and going within. I quiet the chatter of my mind, perhaps thinking of one of my peaceful places, imagining the breeze caressing my face and hearing the trickling stream. In this quiet state, I connect with my source and begin to feel a settling calmness. I consider my life from this higher perspective and remain centered and serene, no matter what is happening in my life or in the world. And from John 20:26, peace be with you. Let's say the affirmation together one more time. I call upon the infinite peace of God within. Thank you. The Unity movement started in 1889 with answered prayer. Myrtle Fillmore was healed of tuberculosis. We'll be honored to pray with you. You can request prayer at b.unity.org. You can also place a request in our lobby prayer box or on unityhillcountry.org and click on the Ministries tab. Please take a moment now to silence your phone so it doesn't disturb our gathering. Please join me in affirming our mission and vision statements. To live consciously, celebrating the divine potential in all, as well as Unity's statement of faith, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God, the good, the omnipotent. And our congregational song this week is Love is the Answer, followed by our meditation song, Belong. David's going to be doing all of that this morning. And then we'll have our meditation and Reverend Paula's lesson.
This is actually from the Wings of Song book, which you may know, but this is such an easy song. 3 verses, you'll get it in just a heartbeat. have to jump around a lot today, so you have to excuse me. I'm going from piano to guitar. Love, love, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love, love, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. This is joy now. Joy, joy, joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Joy, joy is the answer. Joy is the answer. Joy is the way. Let's do a special one. It's not in the hymn book. This is peace. Peace, peace, peace is the answer. Peace is the answer. Peace is the way. Peace, peace, peace is the answer. Peace is the answer. Peace is the way. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Love, love, love is the answer. Love is the answer. Love is the way. Thank you for joining me on that. This next song you can sing along with as well. It being Earth Month, Earth Week, Earth Day the other day, I thought this would be a nice one to start meditation with. I believe that I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth. I believe that I belong to the earth. I belong. May my life be a song. May my song feed the earth.
So I invite you now to take a quiet time. Just quiet your mind. Allow yourself to feel the sense of stillness that is within your being. It might feel like it's so deep you never find it, but seek. Seek in this moment that stillness that's there. And I invite you to close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Allowing yourself to let go of outer distraction. Just focus on your breath and just notice your breath as it fills your whole body with air, with life. And then just notice as it leaves, that air, that life force stays. And then take a moment to go again and breathe in deeply. Relaxing into this moment. Letting this be the time for spirit, your soul, your greatest desire, union with the One, being the only desire you hold in this moment. And just let that be. Just notice for a moment. If you have any perception about it, if you have any expectations around it, or if you can simply let that moment be a moment of love, a moment of peace, a moment of joy. And in this time of quiet, let yourself go even further within, beyond all outer stuff, concerns, busyness, whatever is happening in your life. You can pick it up later. This is a time for you, your soul, to be renewed, refreshed, and energized from the power and light and love of Spirit. And I invite you now to take a holy word that is something special to you, a very holy word. And within your being, speak that word and follow it, the sound of it, to the source. To the source of your being and into the quiet stillness within you. And there I invite you to simply hold an attitude of wait, just waiting. All is sufficient for this moment. Nothing more needs to be done but wait for that presence and power and presence of Spirit to speak into your heart. And so now we do move into that silence completely. Finding yourself filling even beyond what you know in this moment. An unconscious urge filling you with serenity, with peace. And let yourself feel the sense of wonder that is possible in the midst of all that is a part of your life. Whether it be traumas, tragedies, joys, suffering, sacrifice, work, whatever it is, that there is within you that place that is invincible. And you can feel it. And let yourself feel the wonder in that. And the joy. For that is the presence. That joy is the presence. That love is the presence. And that sense of all will be well can move into and through, so that you know a gentleness of life. Regardless of what's going on, a gentleness of spirit, filled with love, and you too, connecting, one with the power of that light. And so it is. We say thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit.
Do a song that I wrote fairly recently. I call it my lifeline song, my helpline song. It's called Enough is Enough. And it's about, even with all the stuff going on in the world these days, easy to get overwhelmed with the feelings of, it's just to kind of help in that world of, are you having enough? We get in these complexes of, am I too fat, or do I have enough? Am I good enough? This is that song I wrote about. Do you think that you're having it rough, and you never have enough? Well, take a deep look inside. Your good is not trying to hide. We are all enough. Enough is enough that you are and I am. Enough is enough that you are enough. Sometimes your life can seem so tough. Do you think it's 'cause you're not good enough? You can choose a karmic wheel of reap and sow, or look deep in your heart and you will know that you are and I am, and we are all enough. Enough is enough that you are and I am. Enough is enough in your life. You are give you that peace of mind to look inside and see. There you may find that it hurts too much, that you've had enough. Wait a minute. Had enough? It's easy to get overwhelmed in the world these days. But take a deeper look inside. See that light. See what we see. See what God sees. And know that you are and I am. And we are all all enough. Enough is enough that you are, and I am. Enough is enough in your life. You are enough. Enough is enough, and we are all enough. Enough is enough. Know that you are enough. Thank you for allowing me.
Thank you, David. Well, I'm Reverend Paula Skiles, and I get to be the speaker with you today, and I'm honored to be here. I'm blessed as well to be the minister at Unity Church of San Marcos, and have been for a number of years now, so I'm very pleased with that and pleased that I can be here. I'm glad the weather made it possible to show up without any problems. Coming from San Antonio, which is where I live, and I commute to my church, it's it's always a challenge, and it's the weather whenever it gets up, because there's places you can't cross, and there's this and that in San Antonio where you don't want to try to cross because it's not good and it's definitely not wise. Well, many years ago when my father was alive, he introduced me to Facebook. Now, I know that's usually the younger people who introduce the olders, right? Well, my dad introduced me to Facebook. And ever since then, I've actually kind of enjoyed it as a way to keep in touch with family and friends and to find some kind of, sense of what's happening in their lives, even if it's not, I don't really care about all the pictures of what they're eating or whatever, but at least knowing they're hanging out, they're doing something good, whatever. But there are times when there are stories, and there's one story that was offered by Anna R. Welliver that shares about being a mother and our little child regarding a school progress report. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when you're really young, these things are really big. They're monumental in some ways. And so this mother's little girl is standing there, and she's got the report, and she sees there's something written, and she can't read it yet, but she sees there's something written beside one of these check marks all by itself, And she looks up at her mom, and she's got her little glasses on her nose. They're kind of smudged, She says, "How am I doing, Mom?" And so the mother is like looking at this, and it says, again, distracted in large groups. Now, this is nothing new to the mother of this child, because from the time she was born, she has been offering astute observations of life. And so after pointing out all the positives that had been checked off, she also told her what it read. And upon hearing the news, she gave kind of a little tiny shy smile, and she admitted, "I do tend to look around a little bit." And so maybe a lot. And her mother just sort of smiled within, and she got down on her bended knee and she said, "Yes, you do look around a lot. And you know what? You noticed Sam when he skinned his knee on the field trip, and you sat beside him to comfort him. You noticed when Banjo had a runny nose, and we took him to the vet, and the vet said it was good we brought him in when we did, because then he could do something. If it had waited too long, it would not have been the same story. And you noticed our waitress was working really hard, and you decided that we should give her an extra big trip. You also noticed when Grandpa wasn't keeping up with us, and you slowed down so you could walk with him. And then you notice every time we go across the bridge, the beautiful view as we're going to swim practice. And you know what? I don't want you to ever stop noticing, because that is your gift. That is your gift to the world." And as this mother watched her daughter, face just gleamed with that sense of acceptance, right? She did not want to wait one moment before she'd let her know how proud she was of her. In that moment, the mother also realized that their daughter's approach to life had the ability to change the world. As Rachel Macy Stafford said, author of Hands-Free Life, you see, we are all just waiting for someone to notice. Notice our pain. Notice our scars. Notice our joy. Notice our triumphs. Notice our courage. And the one who notices is a beautiful gift. So this morning, let me ask you to just notice. What was it that you experienced as you heard about this mother and her child and the way she chose to respond to her so that she never experienced a sense of either shame or belittlement or that there was something wrong with what she was doing in life? How did that connect to you? And in just noticing, notice the feelings it engenders in you. I can just see this face of this child filled with gratitude. I mean, it just comes across clearly to me. So I hope it does for you. But just notice is the name of my message, and it's about how you and I can experience more joy and wonder in our lives. Anyone up for that today? Okay. I love dancing, all right? It's one of my favorite things, and I spend 3 to 4 days a week doing so, several hours a day. Dancing with the Stars had a segment for spotlight dance, and it's for individuals who had overcome a great deal in order to be there and to dance. And Richard Stilo Vasquez was a regular dancer on that show as part of the dance group Groovelos. He was the leader. Until June 19th of 2011. And then he had a brain aneurysm that left him with an inability to speak, let alone dance. And it took him 6 months in ICU. 9 weeks in ICU and 6 months in the hospital. He refused to give up, though. He refused to think that he would never dance, and he pushed himself. He pushed himself through recovery, and he pushed himself again and again. And on May 1st, 2012, he was the spotlight featured in that show, and he danced. Now, he may not have danced like he did before when he and the Groovelos did their thing, but he had this face that you could see on the show when he finished, a gratitude, just effused. You could see he wasn't bitter over what he had lost or what he had endured, but he was very clear that he was very happy to be there. And it was a true gratitude and an acceptance of who he was and where he was in his life. I believe that gratitude creates what is, I think of as an uplifting moment of choice. It gives us a mindset of being able to overcome, and it helps us in every moment to create a perspective about our lives that offers a greater or higher perspective. Stilo didn't just make those choices on camera. He made them every single day and sometimes every moment. He had to push through the pain, to push through the blockages of whatever it was. American rhythm and blues singer Stephanie Sparks said, "I love when people that have been through hell walk out of the flames carrying buckets of water for those of us consumed by the fire still." You know, one day there was a woman, and this is something, or a man, it could be either of, but this is a story of a woman who had been to her doctor's office, and she had to, just something going on, and so she had gone to get some blood work done, and the lab took a little longer than necessary or usual, let's put it that way. And so she found herself running a little bit late, and she had to go pick up her prescription. She still had to go get her children from daycare. She still had to get supper ready for all of the people in her family, and then she wanted to be there at her church for prayer meeting. Now she's running late already, right? And now how many of us have ever done that? You drive into Walmart to go get your prescription, whatever your mood is. It's not necessarily always gratitude, right? Not necessarily gratitude for being late. But she started to pray, because she doesn't normally bother God with all the little stuff. But she was starting to pray. She says, okay, God, you know what kind of day I've had. And about that time, here comes the deluge, and it pours down. We know what that looks like. We had one this morning. So she's just like, oh, okay, God, I need a parking spot right up at the front. I don't want to get soaked. I really don't have time to go home and change and do all the things I need to do and to get ready and get my hair. I just don't have, please, open up a park. She hadn't even thought more beyond opening up a parking spot right up the front than someone began to pull out, right? And so she noticed it, she's pulled up into it, and she's parked, and she says, never mind, God, something just opened up. Now this is an amusing anecdote, right? But how many times have you and I, in our own lives, maybe done something similar? We ask for something in prayer, and then whenever we receive it, we sort of behave as if it was just a coincidence. Okay. So what? What happens? I mean, are we going to be skewered? Are we going to be roasted over a fire? Are we going to hell? Okay, no. What the so what is that you and I, when we're praying, we're opening with our faith joy and wonder through gratitude. And so when we close that door, so to speak, when we close down on that avenue of flow of joy and wonder, it's because we're not letting ourselves feel gratitude. Gratitude has wonderful capacities for us. That sense of thanksgiving is so different for us. When Jesus said, hearing, you do not hear, and seeing, you do not see, he's really speaking about that kind of energy where all of a sudden, something happens and we attribute it to, oh, just good luck, or, oh, well, nothing special, or whatever. Because it's all special. It is. Whether it's something small or something big, it's all special. The truth is, you and I can effectively keep ourselves more depressed or more whatever when we're not feeling a sense of thanksgiving or gratitude. Author Amy Weatherly put it this way: some people could be given an entire field of roses and only see the thorns in it. Others could be given a single weed and only see the wildflower in it. Perception is a key component to gratitude, and gratitude a key component to joy. Have you ever thought about this? In just 100 years, you and I, sitting here, and those of you who are listening, may already be buried and dead. Well, dead and buried. So, and all of our family and friends likely as well, right? And how many of us have worked really hard to build a home and to create the space and we've also worked many hours and many years in a job. And we've also done so many other things. But by that time, strangers will be in that home. And the car that we've paid so dearly for will have been scrapped long ago, right? I mean, how long is a car going to last? 100 years? Not usually, not the way they make them today, but anyway. Strangers in our home, pictures, wherever, all of our possessions in the wind, right? You really know? I mean, do you really think? How many of you know your grandparents' parents? Anybody here know your grandparents' parents? Your great-grandparents? Okay. That's like 100 years back. This is the point I'm making, is after you and I die, We're basically going to be memories and then a part of history in someone's life, story, and then not even a memory. So what would it take for us to really think about what's important about my life right now? What is it that I think my life really needs to be about? The what I am living, the one I am living. Could you see yourselves thinking about and changing anything in your life as a result of that thought process? Could you see yourself having a different approach? Maybe even taking on those hugs that you didn't have time before, or kissing your children or your friends, and welcome instead of just, I'm too busy, or I've got to get this done. What about the jokes we didn't have time for? Some humor, something to lighten our lives, something to make our lives more enjoyable. For me, I have come to where I see that those are the most beautiful and the most treasured things in my life. And so I seek those kinds of moments. I really love the human species. I don't know about you guys, but I can laugh at myself. And in general, I can laugh at human beings, at the way we just choose to live our lives sometimes, right? And I'm not talking about fall down laughing or in the face of tragedy or everything. I'm talking about just like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Anyway, in order for you and I to have a loving, balanced perspective on life, I believe that letting ourselves connect to a sense of gratitude is important. And we can train our mind to look for things to do that with. We can. We have the capacity. One of the greatest gifts of living our lives based on truth principles is that we get to find out that there is a part of us that is immune, that is invincible, and that does not truly suffer the ravages of what happens in our lives. And we get to decide that even though we want to be passionate about life, or we make, momentary decisions and things happen as they happen, so to speak, there is a perspective of a greater good that can come to us and can be a part of us. Any one of you ever heard the term a glimmer? Do you know what a glimmer is? Okay. Well, it's not what my father said whenever he met my mom, that I was a glimmer. The term glimmer is the opposite of a trigger. And some of you may know what triggers are to our personality and things like that. Glimmers are those moments in your day that give you a sense of joy or peace or upliftment or a sense of gratitude or happiness. That's what a glimmer is, these moments, and you get them and you can have them. And you see them off and on throughout a day. And we can train our brain to look out for them. One of the things I use to try and train my brain to do that is I have noticed how gratitude changes when I use the word I get to instead of I have to. Anyone ever have to do anything? Well, I get to exercise. I get to see my friends and family. Some of these are have-tos for a lot of folks, but I get to. I get to tell someone I love them. I get to eat good food, and I get to work and earn money so that my life is more comfortable. I get to experience change and new things. I get to experience being here. This is a change from my usual day. I get to make someone's day better. It's all about perspective, and one that results in gratitude will always lead to a sense of joy and wonder. Melody Beatty, consider this, she said, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion to clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Now that's a big order. This is a big order. But I have found that a stance of gratitude is the one that lets in the greatest joy in my life. The wonder and richness and fullness, may it be part of yours. So what do we really need if what we're looking for is that fullness of life, that wonder and that joy? What do we need? Gratitude. So I want you to just notice how you feel when you say this statement within yourself. I live a life of gratitude. Just think about it. Hold that for a moment. I live a life of gratitude. Now I'd like to ask you to speak those words of truth for yourself. I live a life of gratitude. I live a life of gratitude. Now let me believe it.
Life of gratitude.
Thank you. So, whatever happens on our journey through 2024, I may not see you again this year, but I may, you never know. Let's not forget to pack a lot of gratitude on our way. God bless you. Yeah.
Okay, that was awesome. Thank you, Reverend Paula. If this is your first time at Unity, we're glad you're here. We hope that you are finding a place of like-minded people and a place to belong. We teach spiritual tools that can help you no matter what is going on in your life. Generosity is important to us. We will donate $5 to a local charity of your choice. Please give us your email address so that we can send you the list of charities and our weekly email of what is going on here. We don't want to put you on the spot, but we will bring you a first-timer packet if you raise your hand. Okay? You can get a packet on your way out if you're too shy. We now have an opportunity to support our spiritual cooperative. If you would like to donate by credit card, go to our website, unityhillcountry.org, and click on the donate button, or scan the QR code on your handouts. Please consider setting up an automatic monthly contribution. If you would prefer to mail us checks, please mail them to 1016 Jefferson Street, Kerrville, Texas 78028. We thank you in advance for your generosity. Please bless with me what you are giving now, and let us say our offering affirmation together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send it forth with my blessings and my love.
Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I'll give. Divine love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive. Freely, freely you may receive. Freely, freely I'll give. Divine love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive.
We open our hearts in gratitude as we release these donations. We send these gifts forward through our congregation and into our world, blessing all that it affects. Do we have any announcements, Brad? And do we want to put out the yard sale? Okay. The Crohn's meeting is on the 7th of May instead of its previously notified date, and the garage sale, yard sale will be on the 18th of May on Saturday. Okay. We've reached the end of our gathering. Please rise, circle up, and join hands, and we'll do the peace song and our prayer for protection.
Y'all all getting there. I see the last hand touch. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God.